Sometimes life doesn't warn you before everything changes. One moment you are walking on solid ground, the next moment you are falling. This is the story of a donkey who learned the most powerful lesson about life in the darkest place he had ever seen, in a small village surrounded by dusty roads and quiet farms. There lived a donkey named Bruno. Bruno was not special. He was not the fastest animal on the farm. He was not the strongest either. He was simply a working donkey. Every morning before the sun came up, Bruno's owner would tie bags of grain on his back. Then Bruno would walk slowly along the long dirt road to the village market. Day after day, month after month, year after year. The horses on the farm laughed at him. "Look at him," one horse said. Slow and tired, the goats pushed him aside when food arrived. Even the chickens walked around him like he didn't matter. Bruno heard the same words again and again. "You are just a donkey, nothing special, just work and carry weight." At night, when the farm finally became quiet, Bruno would lie down under the stars. He often wondered something. Is this all my life will ever be? But even though he felt small and unimportant, Bruno still woke up every morning and did his job. Because sometimes courage is not loud. Sometimes courage is simply continuing. One afternoon, Bruno was walking alone along a narrow path near the farm. The air was hot, the road was dry and cracked. Suddenly, the ground beneath his feet broke. Before Bruno could understand what happened, he fell down with a loud thud. He landed at the bottom of a deep, forgotten well. Dust filled the air. Bruno stood up slowly. Shaking with fear, he looked up. The circle of sky above him looked very small. The walls of the well were high and steep. He tried to jump, but he slipped. He tried again and again, but every time he jumped, he slid back down. Hours passed. Bruno cried loudly for help. His voice echoed through the empty fields. Finally, the farmer heard the noise and ran toward the sound. When the farmer looked down into the well, he saw Bruno staring up with frightened eyes. The farmer sighed deeply. Soon, some neighbors arrived to help. They looked into the well and began discussing what to do. "We should pull him out," one man suggested. But another man shook his head. "The well is too deep, and the donkey is too heavy." Someone else looked at the old well and said something unexpected. "This well hasn't been useful for years anyway. Why don't we just fill it with dirt? We can bury the well and the donkey." The others looked at each other. Slowly, they nodded. "Yes," someone said, "that will be easier." Down inside the well, Bruno heard every word. His heart sank. They were not going to save him. They were going to bury him alive. The first shovel of dirt fell from above. It landed on Bruno's back. He jumped in fear. Then another shovel came, and another. Bruno panicked. "Why is this happening to me?" he thought. "I worked hard my whole life. I never complained. And this is how my life ends." For a moment, Bruno felt completely hopeless. But then something strange happened. As the dirt landed on his back, Bruno instinctively shook his body. The dirt fell to the ground beneath his feet. Bruno stepped on it to keep his balance. Then another shovel of dirt fell. Again, Bruno shook his body. Again, the dirt dropped to the ground. Again, he stepped on it. Slowly, Bruno noticed something. The dirt that was falling on him was not burying him. It was raising the ground beneath him. Every time dirt landed on his back, he did two simple things. Shake it off. Step on it. Above the well, the villagers continued throwing dirt. They believed they were burying the donkey. But inside the well, something incredible was happening. Bruno kept shaking and stepping. Little by little, the pile of dirt grew higher. The walls of the well became shorter. The circle of sky above Bruno slowly became bigger. The sunlight felt warmer. Bruno grew tired, very tired. But he refused to stop. Every time dirt fell on him, he reminded himself of the same thing. Shake it off, step up. Hour after hour, the villagers kept shoveling dirt. And hour after hour, Bruno kept rising. Finally, something surprising happened. A pair of dusty ears appeared above the edge of the well. One of the villagers stopped shoveling. "Wait, do you see that?" Everyone looked, slowly. Bruno climbed out of the well. His body was covered in dirt. His legs were shaking with exhaustion, but he was alive. The farmer stared in disbelief. "I don't understand," one neighbor said. "We tried to bury him." The farmer looked at Bruno and said quietly, "No, we didn't bury him. He climbed out." That night, Bruno stood outside the farm and looked at the stars again. But something inside him had changed forever. He realized something powerful. Life will throw dirt on you. People will doubt you. Some will give up on you. Some will try to bury you with their words, their actions, and their judgment. But the dirt they throw does not have to be the end of your story. If you shake it off and step on it, it can become the very thing that lifts you higher. Years later, people in nearby villages still told the story of the donkey who refused to stay buried. Not because he was strong. Not because he was special. But because when life tried to bury him, he refused to stay down. And maybe today you feel like you are at the bottom of a deep well. Maybe problems keep falling on you. But remember this simple lesson. Every problem in life can become one of two things. It can bury you, or it can build the ground you stand on. The choice is yours. So the next time life throws dirt on you, don't give up, shake it off. Step higher and keep climbing, because one day you will walk out of that well and everyone will wonder how you did it.